Hey everybody, welcome back to Magic Orthodoxy. My name's David and this is a magic review. Hey, today we're going to look at Control from Darryl Vanamburg and Murphy's Magic. All right, so what is Control? What is this all about? The Control project is a box, it's a hard-shelled box. Inside of it, you are going to receive everything you need to manipulate objects with your mind, and not even just one type of object either. Like, we're talking multiple things, anything from cigarettes to pens to pencils to bottle caps to rocks to guitar picks, you name it. You're gonna move solid through solids. You're gonna transport one object from one location to the other. You're gonna move objects invisibly without touching it. Just using your force of will, you will have a complete arsenal of routines, ideas, and gimmicks to propel your magic and stun your spectators. Control is going to give you everything you need to create the magic and wonder, the ability to move everyday objects in very new, very impossible ways. All right, so what do you get? What do you get? Of course, you get the download code. Download code is going to take you out to the web and give you 2 hours and 9 minutes of instruction. 2 hours and 9 minutes of instruction with multiple teachers, okay? Got Chris Oberly, Greg Wilson, a whole slew of people down at Murphy's Magic, all giving you their tips, advice, and tricks to move objects with your mind. So what's inside the hard-shelled box? What is the Control gimmick? Can't tell you. That would be exposure. That would be exposure. But it's going to be similar to other devices that you've received to either move objects, to propel objects, or to make objects vanish, okay? Similar to that. You're going to get a Control gimmick, okay? And then you're going to get multiple smaller gimmicks that you'll be able to use to rig everyday household items like pens and pencils and cigarettes and bottle caps, and yeah. So it's an entire box of these devices, an entire box of these gimmicks, and I would just say download the video first and watch at least the first 8 minutes before you start pulling this stuff apart. This stuff is very well made, very well crafted, and some of the objects are very, very small. So you need to make sure that you handle them appropriately. I would just watch the first 8 minutes or so of the video just so that you are fully prepared. And then once you are ready, you will be able to manipulate objects like bills and straws and cards and cigarettes and cups and rocks and pens and yeah, everything. All right, so the video that you get to watch, it's everything you'd expect from Murphy's Magic. Murphy's Magic makes great videos. It's all shot in the Murphy's Magic studio. Like I said, Chris Oberly is one of your strongest teachers. Greg Wilson, you got that as well. 3 of the effects will actually have live, out on the street presentations. So 3 of the 9 tricks will actually have a live version. So they don't all have live versions, just 3 of the effects. In fact, some of the footage that you even see in the commercial aren't really in the instructions either. So let me just tell you what you're going to get as far as the teaching goes. What tricks are you going to learn? You're going to learn a chop cup routine with Greg Wilson. You're going to learn a trick that Greg Wilson calls Aquaman, where he makes a bottle of water wobble on the table, okay? You're going to learn a shell routine. You see that one in the commercial with a crumpled up dollar bill and a coffee cup. That one is great. Titanus is going to teach you an animated cigarette effect. Chris Oberly is going to teach you the moving rock effect. And then there's a second one, that's spinning rock, that you see in the commercial. You're going to learn that one as well. You're going to learn a static straw effect where the straw actually leaps off the table and attaches itself to your hand. You're going to learn the haunted deck routine that you see in the commercial. There was a live video for that as well. There's 2 different PK pens that you'll also learn. So you'll learn a PK pen where the pen spins on top of a water bottle. And then you're going to learn one where the pen spins inside of a cup. And then everything else on the video is going to be how to care for your products, how to make sure that you're storing them correctly and caring for them, and then also fitting the Control gimmick to you. Now, obviously, PK devices have been around for a while. There's all kinds of utilities that are very similar to this. Off the top of my head, I think of the Raven or the Bat, things like that. And all those things are designed to remain hidden right? They're never inspectable. The spectator never sees them. They're all designed to vanish so that you can show your hands clean and empty, or your body clean and empty. I will say that in the control gimmick, there's really nothing for the spectator to find. So there shouldn't be anything that they would hold out and say, well, what's this, right? So there's none of that. So, and there's no threads for them to find. There's nothing that'll break, that'll dislodge or make your props fall to the ground and you lose your power all of a sudden. And I was very impressed with the quality of products of what you're getting. I really did like the quality of the control gimmick. Had not really seen anything much like it before, all right? And I did appreciate all the different types of tricks that you could do with this. So it wasn't just like the same thing over and over again. It wasn't like 9 tricks and they're all a card animation, or 9 tricks and you're all just moving a pen across the table. So there was all kinds of things that you could do. I would argue that I wouldn't do 2 or 3 of these tricks all in the same routine. Obviously you'd space all these out. You wouldn't carry multiples of these with you. You'd carry 1 with you, right? You'd do 1 trick out of all these 9, or you'd have the ability to come up with your own tricks, okay? So don't think that you're just gonna walk around and make objects move as your whole routine. I would say that many of these need to be presented in the framework of a routine, or in the framework of a trick with patter, okay? You're not really getting full tricks with all of these ideas. Many of them are ideas that just simply need to be fleshed out by you. And of course, I think after watching the 2 hours and 9 minutes of this instruction, you're gonna come up with your own ideas, or you're gonna find ways to incorporate these effects into effects that you already do or own. All in all, I say you can't go wrong with Murphy's Magic, you can't go wrong with Chris Oberle, and you can't go wrong with Greg Wilson. So much great stuff in there. Dave Grippenwald's in there as well. I mean, he's awesome. So, you know, you're getting a great product. It's wonderfully priced for what you're getting. I think if you don't have any PK stuff, or if you've always wanted to get into PK, or maybe you've tried like things like loops, or you've tried IT and that hasn't worked for you, and you're like, oh, I wish there was something else out there. There is, and it's control. All right, so positives. What are the positives to this effect? Man, control is a huge magician's box of PK goodies. Fans of telekinesis and haunted effects are gonna love the vast diversity of this project. Negatives. All right, so what are the negatives? You know, like we say around here, there's negatives to everything. These are just the negatives that I see. They don't have to be the negatives that you see. For me, okay, the device itself was a little too big. I had a problem with it staying in place and staying where I put it, and mine actually fell apart a few times. Now, that doesn't mean it broke. It just means it fell apart. There was more than one piece, and sometimes the piece came out of the other piece. And so I didn't love that. Also, without giving away what it is, the device can actually act like what it is and then give it away to your audience. Like, I showed this to my 10-year-old, and almost right away he said, oh, it's a blah. And he was right. Okay, so there has to be a way where you can find a happy medium so that your effects don't look like what it actually is. And so with that, I would say some of the effects that you see on the trailer, they work great on video. Some of them work really great live, but I don't think they all work great live. So just know that. Some of them look great on camera. Some of them look good in person. You'll have to play around with it a lot to find a happy medium. All right, so that's pretty much everything I can say about Control from Darryl Vanamburg and Murphy's Magic Supplies. Of course, I want to thank Murphy's Magic Supplies for allowing me to have this so that I could do the review for you. And if you would like to purchase it for yourself, I would head on down to your favorite Murphy's Magic retailer. Thanks, bye.